Hi there, it's the Dutchman's Foremost and welcome to this brand new The Sims 4 speed build. So today I'm finally here with my Get Famous speed build. As many of you probably know, last week a brand new expansion pack came out, and maybe you don't actually know because unfortunately before this I've not been able to make any video about it. I haven't made like a news video, I haven't made a preview, I honestly haven't really done any videos on it yet. Not because I wasn't excited for it, but honestly simply because recently I simply haven't had that much time to create videos, as you have definitely noticed. However, honestly, the reason why I was so super excited to create this build was not necessarily only because that brand new expansion pack Get Famous came out, but because of what you're seeing right now, and that is terrain manipulation. It's finally here, which I'm super excited about because finally we can edit the terrain and truly create the houses we've always dreamt of. Because honestly, recently one of the reasons I actually noticed that I was playing The Sims 4 less was because I realized that I just really needed like terrain tools in order to like let my imagination flow and to create whatever I wanted and whatever I had in like my mind. But now that we've got it, I can finally create anything I want, or at least I still have to sort of figure out what the new tools work like. They're sort of like similar to what they work like in The Sims 3, but still there's some little differences between how they work and also how they act whenever you like make certain changes. But as you can see, you can pretty much do whatever you want. I still hope you're in the future going to be able to connect like foundations to like regular walls so that you sort of can do the constraint floor elevation stuff. But I'm not going to go on from here again and again complain about things we don't have, because we have terrain manipulation now, which is like super good. I'm really happy that they've actually like put so much effort into putting this into the game, because I'm sure that it was a hell of a lot of work. But yeah, here we are in a new world, because like I said, The Sims 4 Get Famous came out like last week, but I only got the code for this. Thank you EA for providing this one to me, by the way. I was unfortunately not able to create like any video right before the release, like I'm actually sort of like supposed to, or at least what should be expected. But we only received like the code on Wednesday, and then I'm not at home during the week, so I had to wait until the weekend, and then during the weekend I was gone as well. So now at like on Sunday evening and Monday morning I'm working on this video, and I hope I get it online in time. And if I haven't managed to, I'm definitely sort of sad about that, and I know that some of you are probably waiting for the video as well. I'm sorry that I haven't been able to upload that much lately, but I'm simply during the weeks not at home, and therefore I don't have my PC to work on the videos, and also I'm seriously like super busy with university stuff and like a side job at university and like all kinds of different things, which has made creating videos more of a challenge. I hope to create a SketchUp video sometime soon as well, and maybe next weekend also a new Sims 4 speed build, because I sort of like, now I'm finally creating a video, and then I'm like immediately creating like a massive mansion, which would have been smarter to make maybe a little bit of a smaller house, but I just really wanted to test out those terrain tools, and all of a sudden I was like here building like a massive big mansion, which you're definitely not minding, I guess. By the way, if you want to download this house, or this celebrity mansion as I'm calling it, you can do so. You can go to the gallery, and then you've got to look for the orange on ID Dutch Sims Master, then you get to my page, and there you're actually able to find all my builds, including this one, and also there you can find like any other build I've done, and maybe there you can even find some inspiration for other videos I've done previously. And that also brings me to the fact that you can subscribe to my channel. Recently I haven't really uploaded that much, but I'm definitely not stopping uploading, so you can of course still subscribe to see whenever I do upload. And also generally just on my channel page you can find any videos that I have created before. As you can see, just getting back to the house again, I'm currently working on getting the roof right. I sort of felt like I shouldn't be cheating out and go for a flat roof, but just really create an actual roof for this house, which was a challenge, but in the end really did make the house look cooler, if you ask me personally. And also the lot it's built on is really cool. This is in the world, what was the name of it again? Del Sol something. Like, it's sort of like Los Angeles, actually. I'm not too sure about the name. I'm actually not going to look it up either. It was like sort of a Spanish Del Sol something, I believe. But it's inspired by Los Angeles, like, definitely. And The Sims 4 Get Famous is generally about getting famous, and like becoming an actor, or maybe even a director or whatever, at least just working in the film industry or just the entertainment industry. Therefore, I really want to create a film studio in The Sims 4 as well at some point, and also a theater, because of course theaters are like the coolest buildings you can actually create, or often theaters are like the places the money can be spent, so they turn out really cool. So I'm planning on creating a theater in The Sims 4 as well, and maybe like a huge like film studio, which would be a combination between like the actual filming hangar sort of, and like the more like fancy headquarters, which I think should be pretty cool. So I'm gonna look for a lot where I can actually fit all of that. Honestly, if I'm going to be critical, and I am, I'm not too sure if they could have made or gotten more out of the world. Not only because it's sort of small and they give an explanation for that, which I can totally understand. If they're making the worlds too big, then yeah, the game would like lag for many people, and like the game wouldn't be able to handle all the expansion packs, which I can imagine. However, I'm not too sure if that is the reason not to create like an entire new theme, sort of, because even though it's like a different kind of world, it's Los Angeles, and it looks different, sort of, it's not entirely different. That like the look is still sort of the same. I'm really liking the neighborhood I'm currently building in, and I think that this one is actually like pretty different from the rest. However, like if you go into like the rest of the city, that those are just not too attractive neighborhoods, even though the detailing is cool. Like if you actually go into one of the like neighborhoods, you actually see like a sailing ship in the backyard, which is something I can imagine you actually see a lot in California, and like camper vans and all those kinds of things, which is realistic, and you see that they've actually done research, or actually like it. The Sims is created in California, so they definitely know what it's like, but they really have thought about what is typical for California and what should we put into this. But still, the neighborhoods don't really seem like that new to me. And honestly, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts about this, and you see me switching this during the video a lot as well, is the lighting. As you can see here, I'm currently even switching it as well, because the lighting in the morning is like super somber and like sort of dark and stuff, but does like very well like show the colors of your build. And then currently I'm most of the time in this speed build building in the afternoon lighting, and that is super bright. It does look sunny and stuff. However, it doesn't really show an accurate representation of the colors, which I actually noticed when I added the colors to the house and did the materials and stuff, because I just really couldn't figure out what everything looked like, because it's so bright, even though it does look sunny. And therefore I am building in this color mode, sort of, or in this lighting daytime mode, because it just looks really cool, and like really sunny and stuff. But yeah, I actually asked this on Twitter as well, where you can, by the way, also follow me. And there are people like the opinions were sort of like separated. Some people said they really liked the afternoon light, but very many people also said it was way too bright and they really preferred the morning light, which is sort of funny. And it was something I really noticed like immediately when I actually installed the game. And getting back to terrain tools, I'm so happy that they're here. They actually work really well. It's like way easier in like The Sims 4 than it was in The Sims 3 to make like the terrain work well, and especially for the house to fit on the terrain, because in the Sims 3 you had to do all of that yourself sort of, but in the Sims 4 it's actually sort of sorted for you, and you just get to place the house, and then the game will understand that it should delete some of the like the terrain for the foundation to fit or something like that, and the heights don't like differ all the time. So if you move the house up, it goes up in its entirety, and it's not just one part, it goes up with you ending up having like diagonal foundations. But like I said, it would still be cool to be able to sort of connect two different like foundation heights. And also, for instance, having a foundation with a certain height, and then right next to that just full height or just regular height walls, so that you could, for instance, easily make a garage in case the garages are coming anytime ever in The Sims, which I think they will, because I mean it's cars, they should be added by some point, I guess. But yeah, that's just my thought, and they said they were working on it, I believe, and for now I'm super happy with this, and I can definitely go on with very many new builds and inspirational things, but that's just one small little wish I've got left. As for the items, I'm not too sure what to think about that. I haven't actually done an item showcase, not for a video, but also honestly not really for myself yet. I have seen many of the items, but I'm not entirely sure about all of them. They look sort of cool, but it doesn't seem like there's super many items. But I hear that very many other people were like sort of like really happy with all the items, so maybe I've missed some things. Like I said, I didn't really have that much time to create this video, so therefore don't really see this as a review. This is sort of my first impression, so this is not an in-depth review. It's really just a first impression. I've only played the game like building this and a little bit more of building when I tried out to see if the game could run on my laptop, which it can, but it gets really hot. So actually I've got a question about that. Like whenever I decided to install like The Sims with all its expansion packs and stuff packs and game packs onto like a hard drive, which I can then obviously connect to my laptop, and then I can play the game, and it actually runs really like sort of well on like all out specs, which I was happy with. However, it does make quite some loud like fan noises. So I'm interested to hear from anyone who knows a little bit more about computers than I do, if that's a problem. Like it gets really hot, like not extremely hot that you cannot even touch it, but I ran like a fan temperature thing, and it said like 80 degrees Celsius, something like that, I believe. And like CPU at some points even running at like 90 or maybe even 99% of its capacity. Yeah, I'm not too sure if that's a problem. I definitely don't want to break my laptop, and therefore if I simply cannot run it, I cannot run it, and it's not like the biggest deal. However, if I can run it and it's just getting a little hot, then I guess it would be fun to, because in that case I would be able to make more videos. But please think about my laptop as well, and don't only say that it's not a problem at all just so that I can make more videos, because if I end up without a laptop, I'll definitely not be able to make more videos, because I'll have to work all the time to earn that laptop back. But yeah, and also, by the way, one thing I should notice is that I just put it on the table, and sometimes even put a little bit up so that the fans can like get good airflow, which I believe is sort of important. But yeah, it's mainly just that the fans make quite some noise, and of course those fans are added so that they can like cool the computer down, but I'm not too sure if you can actually overuse them or something. So if anyone's got any knowledge about that, please let me know. By the way, what is sort of interesting about this house, which I haven't actually told you that, is that it's really in like the California style, because I really had in mind that, you know, these are sort of famous movie actors or whatever, with obviously a lot of money, and they often have parties at their house, and therefore I've decided to make the house such a way that they could actually throw a party without everyone having to actually get into their house. So in the middle of the house there's sort of a pathway and from there you can actually get from the front to the back of the house, and once you're in the back of the house you can actually access the pool easily. And then if you're looking from like the skyline onto the house from the swimming pool, on the left side there's sort of like a side building where there's a place for like parties and stuff, and also like attached to that there's a patio where you've got a bar and like a huge table, which hasn't been added yet, but you'll see it being added later on, which is sort of cool because that is just what I imagined, what I would personally want to my house to be like if I was like sort of famous, and you have enough money to actually sort of build two separate houses, or at least make your house so big that you can make it different for like different occasions. Because in that way people don't have to get into your house and into your bedroom and bathroom and stuff once they're just visiting. And I can imagine like in California it's sort of hot all the time, so they're probably outside often. So like that side building isn't really big, but yeah, that's just my thinking process here. And also that's the reason why inside the building is actually very open. And actually if you walk up the stairs you're immediately in the master bedroom, so there's no wall between it, so therefore it's also sort of necessary for privacy to have that like side building sort of, so that no one actually just randomly gets in. But yeah, that's sort of a thinking process I did there. By the way, let me know what you think of this expansion pack, because I sort of know what the general opinion about it is, and I believe very many people are positive, but I'm interested to hear from like my viewers what you think of it, and what you like about it, what you don't really like about it, and also what do you still wish for The Sims 4, because like I said, I still have one little wish for with the terrain tools, but it's not like a super big wish, because I know that I shouldn't ask too much. But my next biggest wish is a tropical island, like a true tropical island with an entire new vibe, because that's sort of what I'm missing. I'm not entirely fond of like the new rule that comes with the pack, because honestly, I don't like this neighborhood is cool, which I'm building in, but I know that that's probably the only neighborhood I'll ever build in, and the rest just sort of looks like the world we already had. Like Willow Creek and New Crust a little bit. Well, not really New Crust, but really Willow Creek had like one neighborhood which is almost exactly the same as the neighborhood which is in this world, which is sort of like the poorer, more regular family, well, not family, yeah, just sort of the regular houses which you see in Los Angeles. But yeah, you know, that's just my thought. By the way, what I really like about like the pool area of this is that I actually managed to get the hot tub on there on the same level, and then sort of in the hill with the terrain tools. I just generally thought it looks sort of cool. With terrain tools, by the way, I haven't really created the entire garden like super detailed. I've like really focused on terrain tools and sort of making it a natural garden with here and there some like trees and stuff, but not entirely figured out, also because I felt like in this way you actually see the terrain tools a little bit better and get a better impression of what you can do with them, and also because I didn't really have that much time left, honestly, just to finish the build, because like I said, I was sort of on like a time constraint when creating this video. Also, I really noticed that I've actually missed making videos recently. I actually, like at some point during like my YouTubing thing, and actually most of the time, I made like a couple of videos a week, and therefore I was really in like a regular mode of creating videos, and I knew all the time I was super quick at it and like super easy recording and stuff. But now recently I've just not really made that many videos, and therefore I'm not really used to it anymore, but I realized that I really like it still, which I'm happy with. Just generally making these videos and coming up with ideas. But one of the reasons why I haven't actually uploaded that much recently is probably also because I only create speed builds nowadays, where back in the day I also used to create like let's builds and news videos and tutorials every now and then. So maybe if you want to see like let's builds back, please let me know, because those are honestly easier to create simply because I'm not building an entire house in one go, and therefore it just takes a lot less time to record. So therefore if you would like to see those videos, let me know, because that would be like sort of a solution for the fact that I can't really upload that much. Maybe I could do like a Let's Build where I create that film studio or whatever. Maybe the theater would be cool. But like, as you can probably imagine, creating entire houses, it's simply truly not possible to create one every day, especially if this is not something you're doing full time, and actually something I've really got to schedule some time into, like the rest of my schedule, just to make it work out. But like, making Let's Builds is way easier than making speed builds, so maybe that's sort of like a solution, I guess, to the lack of videos. But if you just really like the speed builds, then please just keep in mind that I haven't been uploading that much, simply because these are all speed builds, and whenever I upload, I'm just spending like 10 hours creating one video, or at least, is it 10 hours? Yes, I think. Well, for this one it's more like 5 to 6, I think. Well, 6, 7, I think. But yeah, just quite a lot of time for just one video. And recently, like, I feel like, I'm not too sure, like the Sims community or something has sort of changed, because back in the day it was really all about speed builds. But nowadays, all of a sudden, I realized that, like, Hatsi, you probably know her because her channel's been growing insanely fast recently, who's been blowing up with machinima videos. I haven't really gone too much in depth with her videos. I've maybe seen one partly, but I'm personally just not really into that stuff. But like, the recent years, there's been a trend going on that the Sims YouTube community is sort of changing, and it's more really about YouTubing and creating funny videos, or just creating like different kinds of videos, and not really like it was back in the day about speed builds and Let's Builds. Back in the day, that was the thing to create, and everyone did it. And nowadays, still everyone does it, but like, with that, you're not going to blow up anymore, sort of. Or at least unless you're like super good, I guess. Now it would still be possible to grow a channel about speed builds, but generally people are not really into that much anymore, I think. But maybe I'm just truly missing out here, or just like not hitting the nail on the head. Is that the saying? Whoa, it was truly unnecessary to add that saying in the sentence. Definitely when I'm not even sure what like the saying goes like. But you know, you've got to do something when the video is like almost 28 minutes long. You've got to talk all the time. Sometimes I'm thinking about live streaming. Not that I have time for that, and definitely don't hope too much about that. But it's funny because in that way you can sort of have a conversation and you get immediate feedback, unlike with these videos where you're creating something, you're talking to yourself literally for like half an hour, and then afterwards you get like feedback based on the comments, but you can't actually reply to that anymore. So it's sort of like a weird conversation. And by the way, getting to the interior of this house, I really went sort of artistic. I tried to add like quite many of the new items which come with the pack, which are quite many, but I'm not super fond of all of them. I really like the new rugs, and I've added many of them because I really like the colors, and I'm sort of really went, like I said, for the artistic look, and sort of with like different colors everywhere, and sort of like hippie-like, I guess. It just looks really hipster sort of, but still stylish and clearly expensive, which fits the style. And I think like sort of colorful contrast nicely with like the exterior of the house, which is sort of like anonymous, which I guess is necessary in like a place like Los Angeles where there's famous people everywhere and everyone knows that you live there. Then you sort of want to be anonymous, or at least sort of to make sure that people don't exactly know where you live. And not to be too extroverted with the exterior, but then being more extroverted with the like interior of the building. That's just what I was thinking. And for the bathrooms, I didn't actually go all out the two, because there's only 2 bedrooms in this house, simply because I decided to make it a little bit smaller just to like manage to get it done in time. But the 2 bathrooms are like ensuite. And sort of luxurious, but nothing too crazy fancy. There's also, by the way, some pots which you can actually put in like your house as a bed. So I haven't actually gone too much into what they are, but I believe they're like maybe time traveling things or giving you crazy dreams or whatever. I should actually have looked it up before I actually mentioned that, but those are sort of weird. So I've added one of those somewhere in the house as well, and just above like above the open space by the hallway. So in fact, 5 people can sleep here, and you can actually use the side house, which I imagine to be for parties. You can actually use that as sort of a guest house and add like 2 more beds in there as well. So in that case, you can actually fit many more people in the house. And here I'm adding a little studio. By the way, I haven't even mentioned the rooftop pool I've added to this house, which in my opinion is really the coolest thing there is. I mean, it's a rooftop pool with glass all around, which I'm not too sure realistically that probably wouldn't work because the pressure of the water would be too high and the water would definitely break somewhere. But every now and then you do actually see glass pools, so it should work, but I'm not too sure if it works when you do it all around. But at least you've got a rooftop pool, which is really cool. And here I'm finishing that side house for the parties, which brings me to the end of the like building part of this speed build. So I hope you enjoyed watching it. After this there will be a quick overview of the house, so let me know what you think of the house and let me know what you'd like to see in the future for the speed builds. And then I thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you back in another video very soon. Goodbye.